I Walk the Line was the first song of his I ever heard. My aunt and uncle owned the record, and my cousin Wanda and I would wait till her mother went out of the house, and then we'd play it really loud. But I can't remember the very first time I heard I Walk the Line. To me, it was simply a part of the world as I knew it, like a part of nature, more like air and like water than like a song that some man sat down and actually wrote and sang. I Walk the Line was a hit in November of 1956. That's about a year before I was born, so it really is a part of the world that I know. But that's the way it seems with great songs and with great artists. Their impact on people is such that you can't imagine what the world would be like or sound like without them. He was born in rural Arkansas in 1932. He moved to Detroit in his late teens. He joined the Air Force where he became a radio operator. After the Air Force, he moved to Memphis, where he made his first recordings for Sam Phillips and for Sun Records in 1955. It was there and then when the world of music began to feel his impact as he wrote and recorded songs like Cry, 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 Hey Porter, and I Walk the Line. He helped show the world what happens when rural sensibilities and values mix with an urban environment. Over the years, he's demonstrated a broad musical perspective, never being afraid to record songs of social commentary, and always being eager to seek out new songs by talented young songwriters such as Bob Dylan, Chris Christopherson, and Bruce Springsteen. He's had 48 songs on the pop charts, 135 on the country charts, and he sold more than 50 million records. His music, his artistry, his point of view helped form and define what we know as rock and roll. This is the biggest deal of my life. It's a great honor for me to present to you and to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Johnny Cash.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much. And hello, Phil. I'm Johnny Cash. I would like to thank Sam Phillips, and I'd like to thank Jack Clement, who steered the career and directed recording activities of myself for Sam, as well as recording activities of a lot of other people, including Elvis and Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and my dearest buddy, Roy Orbison. And by the way, I'd like to make one correction, if you don't mind. The name of the store on Beale Street was the Lansky Brothers, not Lasky Brothers. It was Lansky Brothers. That's where we hung out and bought those shiny LeMay clothes, you know, back in the mid-'50s. And just down the street was home of the Blues record shop where I spent all my money and realized some of my first dreams, and that was actually owning recordings of some of my heroes, people that had influenced me and that made an impression on my lives. Of course, there were the Hanks. There was a Hank Williams and Hank Snow and the Carter family and the country, and folk and the hill country, they called them back then. But there were also other stations that I listened to in Memphis. I lived near Memphis in northeast Arkansas, and I listened to WHBQ, and they had a program on there called Red Hot and Blue late at night where they played back then what they called race music. And there I heard some of my earliest heroes, and it was at the Home of the Blues record shop where I bought my first recording of Sister Rosetta Tharpe singing those great gospel songs. And I can still see Sister Rosetta playing that Stella guitar. And sorry, Mr. Fender, but it was a Stella that Sister Rosetta was playing. And bought some of the recordings by Alan Lomax. Did some field recordings back in the 30s and 40s. He took his wire recorder into the alleys in the honky-tonks in Mississippi and South Carolina and Louisiana. And I listened to those by the hour, by the day, by the week, and the month, and they influenced a lot of my writing. Songs like Big River and Get Rhythm, some of the earlier songs that I wrote were influenced by people like Sister Rosetta Tharpe and by Pink Anderson and Blind Lemon Jefferson and some of the Carolina street singers. So I don't know, maybe I was trying to make sure that I belonged here tonight and to make you see that I might possibly actually belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm extremely proud of it, and whether I belong or not, I'm going to take it off and show it off at home and take it home with June, who is here with me tonight, my wife June. And I've always had a big family that I've been proud of, and while we're at it, my daughter Roseanne Cash is here. My daughter Carlene Carter. And my son, who is ready, Phil, John Carter Cash is here tonight. Taking too much time, I want to thank you very much. And as Little Richard said at the beginning of this program, he and I were talking, he said, God is watching over things tonight, and I feel that, Richard. I thank you for reminding me of that. And I asked June, what do I say when I get up there? And she said, just ask God to guide you, and it'll be all right. I found that works, and not only tonight, but every day of my life. Thank you very much. God bless you all.